Last week we talked about the same thing here. We talked about the personal pronouns and how it takes a place of a noun, and we kind of talked generally over it. And what I did was, it was not a good paper either, but this is it here, and I rehashed it, and so eventually I hope might make it into my textbook that I'm trying to write. So in the first part here, we talked about I being a we, and me is a we. He, him, she, her. It is a, and us, ongu, and then we, on, and you, thee, and they, and them, shema. And I'm not satisfied with that either. I'm going to have to work that over, but I think it'll work for what we see on the surface of speaking using a personal pronoun. We'll take the first one, for instance. I made it. I made it. Or I made one. You could say it either one. And then you made it. You might, I think maybe you might just kind of draw the thee and a we out just a little bit longer. We pache, and the thee skache. Kind of draw it out, and the could be a southerner at this point. Okay, we made it. So ongu ongachai. Ongu ongachai.
Ongu, not ongu.
Yeah, no, it's ongu. It's ongu.
Can we get an apostrophe on that one too?
No. Well, I guess that's what I said. You need to draw it out a little bit. I could have put a little dot after the we, thee, and the goo there. The little dot means you draw it, but that dot actually prolongs it a little bit longer, and that's why I didn't put it in there. Because if I put the dot on there, it would have been a we, or thee, or ongu, and you don't want to say it, but you draw this one out a little bit. It's just learned. Ongu, ongacha. Ongu, ongachai. And then you made it. Ongachai, yeah, we made it. Okay, next one. Okay, the shkachai. The shkachai. I put a apostrophe after that, and because I pronounced it, and I was sitting there, I put down, I said, the shkachai. The shkachai. And it sounded like there was an accent after that. The shkacha. I'm kind of wondering if, no, you can't draw them together, because just like you pointed out, that first one, if I put it just W-I then a P-A, put it together, it would have been weepache, or it would have been weepache, and that means I made it. I made it, but you say, weepache, I made it for you. And we're not saying that. We're saying I made it, so you have to separate it. Weepache. Or I'm saying the shkache, or the shkachai. In this case, what she's saying. So you almost have to say the shkachai. The shkachai. You guys made it. Okay, the next one. This one here is a little bit more trickier. And they made it. You're talking about she, they, dua, and ga. I got a little graph for that, how to use those. And I started to bring that out, and I didn't bring it. And but there are uses with ma, okay? And as in shema. But then you could say ga ma, or you could say they ma, or dwa ma, and so on. And so if you say they made it, So you got a diacritic. It's a acute accent over the E, and you got an apostrophe, she, and then ma. She ma. She ma. Them over there. She ma gacha. They're the ones that made it. They made it. Okay. Let me explain this once again. I think I explained this before you once again. That's how come I should have brought that graph in here. Okay, these four, she, they, dua, and ga, they're instrumental prefixes. Now, she means something like across this table. And so you guys, let's say for instance, us guys are on this table, we're sitting way over here and at the end of the room. Then the other guys are sitting over there on that table, and we're making something, and you guys made something that you were displaying, and we're looking at it. And I can say, Shema Gacha. They made it over there. Shema. And then if we made something, and we're talking about the thing that we made cups, and it would say, these guys made the cups that's around me, and I'm talking about it. I say, Duama Gacha. Duama. Or if I'm standing over there where he is, and these guys are making it, I'm referring to them sitting right next to me here. I'll say, They ma Gacha. They ma. So you got Shema, They ma, and Duama. So I'm sitting with them. I'm sitting with them, Duama. But if I'm standing over there and I'm referring to these right close to me, I'm going to say, They ma. But now, if we got something that, I got pins here. Somebody made these pins. And I got a pile of them right here. And we're talking about who manufactured them. We don't know who manufactured them because they're over there somewhere out of sight. And I could say, Gama, because you don't know where they're at, where they're at, over in the next building or 20,000 miles away. Gama Gacha. They made those pins way over there. Gama. So they all we're referring to they made it. I don't care where they're at, whether they're across the room, they're right over here, or right by me, or away from me. That's what those four instrumentals refer to. They're instrumental prefixes, they call them. And so if you learn those, you're going to have to learn them, because eventually, if you're talking, you're going to say that. You know, I can't say, it refers to everything that you're talking about, you know, and you got to use the right one when you're talking. And by the way, I seen even guys in my age, they misused them. And one of the ones that they misuse so often is they and dua. Those two are real close together, because if I say dua ma, I'd be standing over here and I'm saying dua ma. These guys are sitting at this table here. Dua ma gacha. They made it. Or I could say tha tai. What does tha tai mean? Yeah, eat. So tha tai means ate, past tense. And so I could say dua ma tha tai. She ma tha tai. Ga ma tha tai. That's over there. They ate it up. Or I could put any kind of verb against it, with it. These four right here, and you're going to start talking Ponca. I could say right, bahu, bahu, she ma bahu. You guys over there, she ma bahu. Or they dua ma bahu, or they ma bahu. They're sitting around me. Or ga ma bahu. Those are way over there. They're the ones that wrote all that stuff. Give me some verbs. Give me a verb. She ma on la they la. She ma on la. He threw it. Dua ma on la. They ma on la. And ga ma on la. They threw it. They threw. So you could use any verb. Yeah. I don't care what verb you use, you know, they fit with all of them, but they all refer to distance. Like she, dua, they, and ga, way over there.
What about shoot it?
Who?
Shoot it?
No, just shoot.
Shoot.
Shoot, yeah. She makida. She makida. Dua makida. They makida. Ga makida. They shot it. See? You're learning a good lesson here, by the way. This is really good. And I'll give you a little graph of that eventually. So you can take a look at that and you'll see how it works. And it's just part of the learning of the language that I think is a vital part, you know. How about dancing too, you know, wachiga. She ma wachiga. Dua ma wachiga. Dea ma wachiga. And you say ga ma wachiga. They're dancing over there.
What about run?
Run. She matoni. Yeah, toni means to run. And dua matoni. They matoni. Ga matoni. They ran over there, you know. If I just simply say she ma'onhe, I have to add something to that. Like she ma'onhe alai. They went running. Yeah, dua ma'onhe alai. They madonhe onhe alai. Ga madon onhe alai. So they ran away. So I have to add a little bit to it, you know, to make it make sense. But if I don't want to say that, I could just put I at the end of it. On high. On high, yeah. So that's a usage of the instrumental prefixes. They connote distance, but each reference the pronoun, and they're telling you what's actually happening with that pronoun. When you first see it, it don't make any sense. But we'll keep coming back to these things, see? And that's the only way you're going to learn it, is you just keep coming back to it. And eventually it starts sinking in our brains, you know. And so remember, she, they, dua, and ga. Those are easy. Remember, they have to do with distance. She is over there across the room, and dua are these guys over here right next to me, but they're not real close. But they are these guys right here, right next to me, but these guys are real close too. But ga is somebody out of sight. You can't see them. They could be in the next room or 20,000 miles away. So ga is a long ways off. They all have to do with distance as you refer to them, whatever they're doing. They might be eating, like I said, you know. It's she ma walatai. She ma walatai. They're eating. And dua ma walatai. Li ma walatai. Ga ma walatai. And so on. But these are pronouns that you're going to learn as we go along. But these other ones are not too hard to remember, you know, like we, you, and we, the plurality of you, thee. It's always got that I at the end of it. But the singular don't have the I, it's just straight, like a the shkache. But if it's plural, then it's the shkachai. It's a plurality. Shkache is singular, gachai is plural, okay? And so that kind of applies to a lot of the verbs that we use. Oh, then you got possessive pronouns here next round. And of course, you know we're not going to learn them unless we learn how to read them, so we'll continue to read here. And the first one, the pencil is mine. Yeah, way bajo que wita. We talked about that before you came here, some of you. There are two terms. It's a wita and we wita. And I concluded, after all the years that I studied this, that the Poncas have two terms. To me, as I listen to the language and what I know, I believe that Huita is singular. Like I would say, my name, you hear those girls down at the Powwow Princes, they all say it, you know. What do they say? They say their name, my name is. Y'all sure have heard them. What did they say? No, wait, I'm asking these girls.
Oh.
Yeah. See, she heard that. Ijaje Huitake. And I think I taught the first girl down there to say that back, I don't know, 10 years ago or whatever. They wanted to know how they were beginning to say things in Ponca, you know. And I said, just say Ijaje Huitake. Then you say your name. Ijaje Huitake. And, but every once in a while, you'll hear a girl say, Ijaje Huitake. They'll put another we on it. But now, my opinion is that Huita is singular. Ijaje Huitake. Kayla. Could apply for men too, you know. Ijaje Huitake. Bruce. Ijaje Huitake. Okay, now, so now if you were using Huita, well then that's plural. So if you're going to give your name, Ijaje Huitake, well, I wouldn't say K, because K is singular, right? I'd have to use what?
K.
Te, yeah. So I would say Ijaje Huitate, Bruce Johnson. I'm saying the whole name. I'm saying the whole name. But the ending word is going to stay one word. It's not going to be plurality of it. So they got to, I guess a person could have a right to say that, you know. It's okay. I'm not going to argue with it. But I still see the plurality of it. And maybe you could get away with it. I think you can say it's all right. Because if his name is Moncapa, that's two names, two words. Ijaje Huitate Moncapa. He's saying Mon and Kappa. Speedy, quick, fast. Ijaje Huitake. Kechila Baji. It's one word. That's my name, Kechila Baji. Ijaje Huitake Kechila Baji. It's just one word.
So I could say Huitake Otis.
Yeah.
Or I could say Huitate Otis Warrior.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah. There's a plurality in that, yeah. So, Gatego, it's noon hour, and we'll come back to this next time around, possessive pronoun. This is important. We can't just rush through it, you know, because we only meet once a week on it, and I would rather spend time on these things individually than to try to finish a whole sheet of paper just like that.